I've talked before on the air a lot of times about how we're just in such a different place with regard to supply versus demand imbalance. We were oversupplied 12 years ago. We're substantially undersupplied now. Another thing a lot of people don't think about when it comes to appreciation is leading up to the Great Recession, we had unsustainable home price appreciation of 20% per year, 30% per year, even 40 or 50% per year in some markets like Las Vegas and Phoenix. So that just wasn't sustainable. And leading up to this crisis, we had a 4% national appreciation rate, very sustainable. And now we have the interest rates that are so low to helping support these greater prices and help lubricate this appreciation. So tell us more about why you think it's a mistake about not focusing on appreciation and some of those other profit centers in real estate other than that net cash yield.
Well, I think it's a mistake to not evaluate it because the reality is that your job as a rental property investor or an investor in general is to achieve the best risk-adjusted return on investment. And if you look at the 5 profit centers that we just talked through, the biggest impact on your overall return on investment, assuming that you are using conventional financing, the biggest impact will actually be home price appreciation,
right?
Assuming you are buying for a full market cycle. So to me, it just doesn't make sense to just put the blinders on and not look at it. We need to understand it. We need to understand when we can count on it. And then we need to use that as a part of the decision-making criteria.
What's interesting when it comes to appreciation and the fact that appreciation has now accelerated in the pandemic, which is something we didn't expect. If you remember the last time you were here early in the year, it was a very valid question. Will prices go down? No one really knew, but they didn't. They've accelerated. And I think what's interesting, Greg, when it comes to appreciation and affording a property, we don't have time to do the calculations now. I might do that on a future show, but housing is actually less expensive now than it was in the 2006 peak when you factor in a couple things: inflation and low interest rates. And you know what's so interesting when it comes to rate of appreciation and affordability and interest rates? Almost no one buys a property based on the price of that property. People buy a property based on the monthly payment. If they're an owner occupant, they're looking at that in regard to their budget. And if they're interested in an investment property, which is like what we talk about, that has a substantial impact to your cash flow. People don't buy so much based on a price. They buy based on a payment. And that works so well right now just to transact, because if you want to sell a property and you have this appreciation, you can take the gain when you sell. But yet, if you want to buy a property, you don't have to pay substantially more for it due to those low interest rates.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when we speak to our clients, we talk about the deal being the debt.